Hey everybody, it's Kaladesh and welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today I'm going to be playing a premiere draft of Kaladesh Remastered, as it will be back on Arena for a few days, so pretty nice to get another Blast of the Past kind of draft format. I like it when they give us a variety of formats, and this one was a pretty cool one. It's got a pretty heavy focus on artifact cards, as well as its own unique energy mechanic that's pretty cool. Nothing to show off with the energy mechanic in this pack, but yeah, tons of servo tokens, Thopter tokens, stuff like that as well. Leads to a pretty unique limited environments. Without further ado, let's see what we want to pack one, pick one here. Definitely a few options here. Prophetic Prism is a huge one. Taking a solid artifact, pack one, pick one can be a pretty great place to be because it's going to end up in your deck no matter what you're playing. And it leaves you wide open to whatever good cards you're getting past. That being said, we do have a pretty solid rare here. Ceram's Expertise. Get 3 servos and cast something for free. 3 servos, 4 mana. By the time you cast, you probably already cast something for free. This can lead to some really obnoxious aggressive curves, though. I think I'm still going to take Ceram's Expertise as the rare. Some great multicolored uncommons there, and a fine removal spell at uncommon, but let's start with Ceram's Expertise and see if we can play a pretty nice white deck. Another Prophetic Prism is a pretty high pickup, again, going into your deck no matter what, but Fairgrounds Warden is a really good follow-up to Ceram's Expertise. This is a creature and a removal spell all in one, so that's going to be the scoop up for me here. There's also Inventor's Apprentice, which is great in aggressive decks. There's a really nasty, really any red deck in this format can make a really nasty Artificer tribal kind of thing, but especially blue-red. It's probably like the best deck in format, just blue-red, a bunch of cheap Artificers, the kind of cards that get 2 energy, then attack, spend that 2 energy and make a servo. Those are pretty ridiculous. So Apprentice is really good in that kind of deck. Thriving Turtle's nice. Energy is just really nice to have on any creature that's decent size for its mana cost. Riparian Tiger's a good finisher. Not too much else here. Prism, Turtle, Apprentice, Fairgrounds Warden, Tiger, all fine. So we're at pick 3 now. Not a big fan of Impeccable Timing because it's only 3 damage and it's only to an attacker or blocker, so it's just narrow in multiple ways. I do like these blue cards all quite a bit. Weaponcraft Enthusiast is fine, but it's usually like a 3 mana 2/3. It's not the craziest thing ever. And then 3 mana for a 0/1 and a couple 1/1s, also not that crazy because, you know, a 0/1 doesn't affect things too much. So it's basically 3 mana for 2 1/1s. So Enthusiast looks really cool, but it's not actually as good as it seems. But we could have a really nice like go wide black-white deck with a bunch of tokens as the strategy. Put a bunch of tokens on the board and then try to cast a bunch of inspired charges. That could be cool with Enthusiast. That is the one thing it can do pretty well. But yeah, there's another Apprentice that's good. Aether Theorist is a solid filler. Good amount of energy for its cost. And Gearseeker Serpent's a solid finisher in blue. You know, I just did talk a bunch of crap on Weaponcraft Enthusiast a second ago, but with Ceram's Expertise in Weaponcraft Enthusiast, that's a pretty good start to a deck that can just make a million 1/1s, and we could potentially take some other cards that work really well with that kind of stuff. Pick 4, we've got Chandra's Pyrohelix being probably the best card in the pack. Really efficient removal, 2 mana instant speed. You can spread the damage around to kill 2 servos or 2 Thopters or 2 2/1s if you're really lucky. So Pyrohelix is incredible, definitely the best card in the pack, but Shrewd Negotiation isn't massively far behind. It's really fun with servo tokens, which we're making with Ceram's Expertise. Trade a servo token for your opponent's best card. That can be pretty nasty. It is 5 mana though, and there aren't a ton of like really big super bomb creatures in this format. This format's much more about a bunch of creatures going wide, a lot of aggressive creatures and stuff, so I just feel like Pyrohelix is generally better removal. I'm going to scoop up the Pyrohelix. Generally a better card. Pick 5, we don't have a lot going on here. We have Riparian Tiger for a green finisher. That's about it. Everything else is very filler. Puzzle Knot is basically a worse Pyrohelix, but Pyrohelix is so good that even a worse Pyrohelix is fine. So I guess we could take the Puzzle Knot here. Again, there's going to be servos and Thopters and all that kind of stuff, so this will kill 2 things, even if it is just 2 tokens a decent amount of the time. Don't think Defiant Salvager is very good. You'd have to have a lot of very expendable stuff to sacrifice, and Weaponcraft Enthusiast Ceram's Expertise is an okay start to that. I'm still not that high on Salvager. I think I'm just going to take the Puzzle Knot, but not a very good pack here. Maybe even Tiger. You know what? I'm not married to red. I'll just take a Tiger. I have no idea what colors we're going to be playing yet. Well, Daring Demolition would go well if we're going to be white-black. This is a solid black removal spell. We cut Tiger and Pyrohelix, then our start is Fairgrounds Warden, Weaponcraft Enthusiast, SRAM's Expertise, and Daring Demolition. That could be pretty good. If I cut my white and green, I could take Weldfast Engineer and try to be an artifact aggro deck, try to get a lot of artifact creatures or a lot of servo tokens to beat my opponent up with those. A lot of vehicles work as well with the Engineer. Enthusiast does make those servos to buff with this thing. This is a relatively good signal that red-black is open. But I think our 2 white cards are really good. Fairgrounds Warden and SRAM's Expertise, so I don't really want to jump ship on those yet. I'm going to take the Daring Demolition. If it's possible to stick with our white cards, we'd like to try relatively hard to do so. This pack is all filler. Built to Smash is actually pretty nice in an aggressive deck. It's like Run Amok for 1 mana. 1 mana for +3/+3 to an attacking creature. So it's a pretty big trick in an aggressive deck. I could see taking that here, because honestly, there's not much else going on. Fenhaller is really slow. Shipwreck Mori is a lot of energy for the cost. That's actually pretty good. But Reservoir Walker, Tezzeret's Touch, all just feels kind of filler. So Built to Smash, Shipwreck Mori, maybe Walker. I don't know. I'm going to go Built to Smash here. If we end up in red, we're likely to be an aggressive deck, because most red decks are. Okay, we're at that point in the pack where pretty much everything is filler, so we might as well take the on-color filler 2-drop creature to get aggro. Conviction is better than it looks because you do get to trigger your Revolt cards with it, and being able to move it around at instant speed so that if you have that 1 mana up, even if your opponent blows up your creature, you can still play your aura on something else later. That's pretty nice too. Implement of Malice, also better than it looks. Basically, 2 and a black, target player discards a card and you draw a card. It's actually pretty fine. You can spread that cost among 2 turns as well. Fireweaver's fine. Propeller Pioneer's pretty fine, and it works well with our kind of go-wide tokens theme we have going on, so I'll take Propeller Pioneer. Again, just a choice between 2 fine cards, nothing incredibly good here. Eager Construct is decent filler if you have stuff that cares about having artifact creatures. Fourth Bridge Prowler is not actually unplayable, because again, enough 1 toughness stuff that this will actually kill something when it enters the battlefield more often than not, and it's very good at crewing like crew 1 vehicles. So I'll just take Fourth Bridge Prowler. I really don't like that bird because of the 1 toughness, because 1 toughness removal like Fourth Bridge Prowler, Chandra's Pyrohelix, and the what is it called, the Fireforger's Puzzle Knot are super playable because you can always rely on your opponents playing servos and thopters and stuff like that randomly. So because of that, it makes any other 1 toughness creatures that much less playable, because your 1 toughness creatures are now just going to die to all the removal that your opponent has in their deck for your servos and thopters, and you really get got if you have 2 1 toughness creatures on board and they Pyrohelix both. You're having a terrible time if that happens. Alright, let's see what we get in pack 2. We get a blue mythic rare. It's a pretty firm draft around. Pretty firm build around. We can't really just like pivot into this easily at all, so I think I'm just passing that right on by. We do have an Inspired Charge, which is going to be nice with all our go-wide stuff. I've Built to Smash and Pyrohelix in red, so if I go red-white, Motorist would be pretty strong, but then I'd have to drop Daring Demolition, Weaponcraft Enthusiast, Malphus, Squad, Rush, 4th Bridge Patrol. But look at all this good red. Pyrohelix and Revolution in this pack too. And if I'm taking a black or white card, it's just going to be Inspired Charge or Rush of Vitality, so there's really no cost to taking Motorist. Just in case we manage to go Boros. We're not really missing anything out of that pack. Alright, we've got Aether Poisoner, which is really good at going wide. 2 mana for a 1/1 Death Touch and a 1/1 Servo, basically. All of these Aether cards are incredible. Aether Poisoner, Aether Chaser, and Aether Swooper. All the 2 mana get 2 energy and make a Servo when they attack cards are just ridiculous. So they're pretty good. Skyskiff is really nice too. Gives us a really good way to crew, to use our servos and stuff to crew this skiff, but I think I'd take Poisoner first. I guess Poisoner's slightly more likely to wheel, but it's not super likely. It is a pretty great card. Servo Exhibition's fine, but it's kind of just a worse Aether Poisoner, because Poisoner is a 1/1 Death Touch and a 1/1 Servo. Servo's just 2 1/1 servos. Yeah, Skyskiff, Aether Poisoner. I guess Aether Poisoner we get to play, or Skyskiff we play even if we're in Boros. Yeah, and it's going to be great too. It's going to be great as well. Okay, well now we get another Aether Poisoner, so that's going to make this pick pretty easy. That's better than all of these other black and red cards by a decent amount. Wispweaver Angel's fine, but pretty slow. because that isn't our primary color, but I think we're trying to be pretty cheap and aggro here. So I'm going to take Aether Poisoner over the big, slow white card there. Well, there goes all the black and white and all the red. Getting cut off of absolutely everything. The only good cards in this pack are like Gearseeker Serpent, Skyship Plunderer. We almost definitely can't play blue. Universal Solvent is too much mana to blow something up. You're just going to die before you get to 7 too often. And Iron Tread Crusher is just a very slow and dirtily vehicle that's not great. There's absolutely nothing for us. I guess we take Night Market Aeronaut, but I really would not like to play it. Okay, here we go. Subtle Strike. Really nice trick. Kill your opponent's servo and make your creature big enough to win the combat and permanently have a +1/+1. Super, super good trick here. Die Young is pretty solid removal. -2/-2 all by itself. If you get more energy, it'll be better. But 2 mana, -2/-2, not that great. So you do really need the extra energy for it to be really good, or other energy cards that care about it. We do have the Aether Poisoner. I think Subtle Strike's just more consistently good. We'll take that here. Infiltrators, whatever. Bridge Prowler's fine. Die Young's fine, but I'm going to go Subtle Strike as the number 1 there. Blue was wide open, unfortunately. It's a little too late to get on that path. Got a filler, some filler creatures, filler combat trick. I think I have a lot of filler combat tricks already. I'll just take a filler creature. The Alley Strangler. For our black-white tokens deck is what looks like we've committed to at this point. Oh, Minister of Inquiries is a really fun card. This mills really fast. 3 cards a turn. By itself, it will mill 6 cards, and if you have an energy deck, you can consistently have at least 1 energy per turn, so you just mill your opponent out of the game as your plan. But soft color, there's just a Built to Last, a Mind Rot that I won't play either of these. I'll just take a Reservoir Walker. It's not exciting. It's very filler, but filler 5-drop when we have none of them right now is probably okay. Night Market Lookout is phenomenal with a vehicle that crews for only 1 like Skyskiff, because you can keep draining your opponent's life even when you can't get in with your 1/1 anymore. So Night Market Lookout's actually a really nice 1-drop. The biggest downside to it is, again, that it dies to all that 1 toughness removal. But other than that, the card's actually pretty nuts. It's a very deceptive card too, which is nice. That means it tends to go late in the draft pods. It's a lot better than it looks. Just looks like a dirtily little 1/1, that's whatever. Alright, we can be an Inspired Charge deck. We'll take that over Rush of Vitality. Now we have a Live Fast for a fine little card draw, or we've got the Filler Creature. Already have 7 non-creatures, so we'll just take the filler creature over the filler card draw. Not a massive fan of Conviction, but it is playable, as I said before. Another Alley Strangler or Fen Hauler. At this point, I think I want the big late game ending kind of creature, potentially. Shram's expertise is 3 creatures, so yeah, we'll put that in the creature curve. Skyskiff. I don't know if I put vehicles in my creature curve or not. I don't know. I'm going to keep it in the creature curve. Alright, we have what looks like it's going to be a deck here. Somebody's going to real like Gearseeker Serpent. That's going to be nice. Yeah, 21 cards here. The final pack can just be about making this deck better. Yep, full on 23 cards, let's go. And Gonti certainly makes this deck better. 4 mana for a 2/3 Death Touch. We look at our opponent's top 4 cards in library, exile 1 face down, and we can cast it as long as it remains exiled, spending mana as though it were mana of any color. Gonti is a phenomenal pickup. I'm very happy to have opened that in our final pack. As for wheels, Propeller Pioneer would be great. We are a go wide kind of token deck, but easily a pick 1 Gonti there. This is going to be an interesting deck. Black-white aggro stuff. Not an archetype I end up in that often in this format. I tend to play a lot of energy decks, which primarily are in blue, red, and green. I end up in a lot of those kind of strategies. Oh, Free Jam Region in red, that's sick, but Fairgrounds Warden's pretty dang good too, and it's on color. We're not going to get a double red splash here. So Fairgrounds Warden it is. Great removal spell creature. Get in the deck. creature count is at 18, and we have SRAM's expertise, so we can definitely cut the filler creatures like Workshop Assistant here as we take more cards. Reservoir Walker is another one. Pretty dang filler for this deck, because we don't have much of anything that cares about treasure. Our next cut we would want is probably Night Market Lookout. What? We're a double Gonti deck? Well, then I'm definitely going to keep Alley Evasion in this deck so we can return a Gonti to hand and recast it. This is normally a super filler trick, but with double Gonti? Fine. Sure. We'll keep Alley Evasion in here, and maybe one game we get to cast 3 Gontis. If I could cast 2 Gontis in one game, I'd already be excited, but 3 would be insane. Alright, we are more in black than white, so I think we can play a Gifted Aetherborn here. Focus in on the black a lot. 2 mana, 2/3, Death Touch Lifelink. It's the miniature Gonti. It's their Aetherborn little friend. Just makes perfect sense. Yeah, Gifted Aetherborn pretty good here. Night Market Lookout also sweet with vehicles and stuff. We only have the 1 Sky Skiff though. And this card will wheel infinitely more than Gifted Aetherborn will wheel. Take that Gifted Aetherborn, probably cut Audacious Infiltrator for that 1 toughness. It's a little bit of a hard sell. Actually, double Fourth Bridge Prowler with just 1 Sky Skiff is probably not great. Another Gifted Aetherborn. Black is wide open. Another Night Market Lookout in here. Just going to take another Gifted Aetherborn. Now we get to cut filler 3-drop, another Night Market Lookout. Implement of Malice, not terrible also, but I think I like our current non-creature stuff as the non-creature stuff that ends up in the deck. Yeah, I'll take another Night Market Lookout, and I think I'll play that over Fourth Bridge Prowler, and which would be like a huge life drain deck in the early game. Aether Inspector is a lot worse than the 2-mana versions like Aether Poisoner, because it's just really slow and it's not a great body at that time. So Fourth Bridge Prowler number 3 or Conviction. I'll just take Conviction, but I'm probably not playing it. Daring Demolition, nice and late. Black is wide open. There's another Inspired Charge, but it's gotta be Daring Demolition over that. We might even be cutting Inspired Charge at this point, because now I don't even think we need to win by like going wide with tokens. We just need to draw a Gonti and then we'll win. We did wheel Propeller Pioneer, very happy to see that. Probably cutting the Audacious Infiltrator because of its 1 toughness, and then Alley Strangler and Pillar Bug are filler. Got a lot of 4-mana stuff, so probably Malphus Squad gets out of here. Maybe Fenhaller's a bit slow as well, so these are potential cuts. We only need to cut 3 though, so I'll cut Infiltrator, Strangler, Pillar Bug for now. Take another Malphus Squad to put in the side. I actually would probably play another 3-drop before my 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th, 4th drop. 6th 4-drop, I should say. So let's actually put... I like the lifelink. Put the Pillar Bug in. Over the Malphus Squad. Just keep the flyers there. Another Fenhaller. Make Obsolete is really sideboard material. Potentially, it's really good against like the Servothopter deck, but if you play against like green and you have a Make Obsolete in your deck, you're just going to lose. Ooh, Mega Late Night Market Lookout. I don't think I'm playing all 3 though. But that's what's so good about Night Market Lookout is that it's pretty solid. It's a very solid card, like right above filler level, and it ends up just going really late in the draft pods because it doesn't look as good as it is. But it's essentially a 1-mana 2/1 with half lifelink. And it's really, really good with vehicles. So, yeah, we only need to cut 2 cards out of here. I think I am cutting one of these lookouts. Do have a lot of non-creature stuff here, but some of that is creature-like Sky Skiff and SRAM's expertise. Actually, still don't love Impeccable Timing, especially because we have double Daring Demolition, Subtle Strike, and a combat trick to try to kill things. So, yeah, I actually cut Impeccable Timing here. And then Rush of Vitality also doesn't seem super necessary as a combat trick. But we could cut a Night Market Lookout instead. What else did we have in the sideboard that we could put in? Nothing phenomenal. I think I'm pretty fine with everything in the sideboard staying in the sideboard. And nothing we're super missing out on, just stuff that would be fine, like Infiltrator, Built to Last be fine, Fourth Bridge is fine. Small Fist Squads are fine. Nothing super exciting though. I don't think I need to try to cheese out an Inspired Charge win anymore. Now that I have Gaunties and I have one big like Fen Hauler to try to kill people with as well. Probably cut Inspired Charge. Actually, didn't get as much of a go-wide theme as I was initially going for. I have Aether Poisoner spits out 2 cards, Countless Gears Renegade rarely, but sometimes will spit out another card. Then we have Enthusiast, Pioneer, and Expertise. Not like a massive amount. I think we can cut Inspired Charge and call it a deck here. Double Gaunty, Lord of Luxury. We can cast Gaunty 3 times thanks to Alley Evasions. Yeah, this is gonna be a sweet one. And yeah, I'm just gonna make these lands all pretty, and we'll see how it does as we head into the gameplay. All right, here we go. Game 1, turn 1, Night Market Lookout. That's a solid keep if I've ever seen one. Multiple tricks and a Pillar Bug on turn 3. Obviously, we need to draw into late game plays, but that's what our draw steps are for. Get in there, Night Market Lookout. Good old 1 mana, 2/1 half-life link. Ice over to keep it tapped. I'll just put it back in my hand and recast it later. I don't need to do that immediately, but I could to get that mana commitment out of the way. That basically completely counters their ice over. Yeah, I'm just going to play Pillar Bug this turn. I'd like to save Alley Evasion in case they have more stuff to get things tapped down. Because honestly, it feels like if they play any creature, like it's going to be like a 2/3 by now, and then the Lookout's not going to get in anyway. So I'm pretty fine with that staying tapped. Okay, there's a Thriving Rhino over there. Can beat it with a combat trick here if they go for a block. If they don't... Oh, I actually can't cast Gifted Aetherborn. That's not ideal. Yeah, not having the double black here, not ideal. Just gain some life. No. Let's just hold up Subtle Strike. Four color for my opponent. Green, blue, white, and red. Definitely possible to do in this format because there's so many good artifacts like Untethered Express, which is nigh unbeatable. Super hard to beat that card. The first time it attacks as a 5/5 trample. Every time it gets a +1/+1 counter it attacks. Or it gets a +1/+1 counter every time it attacks. Not ideal whatsoever. You hate to see it. Still not gonna Alley Evasion this Night Market Lookout, because again, I just don't think the 1/1 body impacts this game all that much. Okay, we've got Gifted Aetherborn mana. Perfect, so we can actually block with a Death Toucher on the Untethered Express or the Thriving Rhino. Either is a pretty good deal. Be even better if I had my Rush of Vitality up here, but we'll do what we can do here with what we've currently got. Alright, crew the Express. I'm gonna have to just bite the bullet, take the trade here then. I think. I mean, I could try to outrace it. And still hold up Rush of Vitality in the future. You know what? Sure. I feel like if they had another creature, they would have played it post-combat so they could attack with both. So this means I get to attack with 2 lifelinkers? Oh, they were trying to get something to die so that would get extra counters. Okay. That's fine. Fairgrounds Warden, that's sweet. Can do that and hold up Alley Evasion still. Opponent hits us for 6 this turn. They can crew it and have a tapped Untethered Express if they want. Yeah, we should be winning the race thanks to life gain. Lifelink. Missed out on 2 life gain earlier with Pillar Bug, which was rough. Can counter this so they don't get a +1/+1 counter, I believe. No, it says then. It's separate instances, so I think it still gets the counter. I guess we'll find out, because I'm gonna return Fairgrounds Warden either way. Oh, actually it gets +2. Right? It'll have 5 toughness against 4 power. Actually, yeah, just make it 5 toughness. You don't have to spend any mana recasting it. Alright, and they're just on blocks now, which means now we get to leverage these combat tricks into some pretty sick plays. They only have 1 blocker too, because they can't can't crew the vehicle and block with the Rhino. Have to double combat trick to kill the Rhino, but I think it's still worth it. I do get a permanent +1/+1 counter on the Pillar Bug, and I gain 1,000,000 life back to 21 here. And they're just going to scoop them up. Don't know what was in their hand there. Maybe a bunch of black spells? Maybe they were the full-on 5 color there? I don't know. That was kind of a weird one. They had a couple really strong cards, the Thriving Ground on the Untethered Express. The cards they played were really good, but strange mana base. We didn't get to see anything super bomby. I don't know. Real good stuff from the Lifelinkers, though. We'll absolutely take that one. I don't think I curved out anywhere near as good as I could. I think that was some poor sequencing that game, but the Lifelink stuff still good enough to get us there as we head into Game 2. Okay, Game 2, double Fairgrounds Warden and Daring Demolition. Alright, I guess. A weird hand, but powerful cards in it. Uh-oh, we need a second Swamp here. This is a really weird hand. Shuffler's doing some strange things today. Definitely getting rid of Long Tusk Cub, one of the best green uncommons in the format. 2 mana for a 2/2. Every time it hits you, they get 2 energy, and they can spend that 2 energy to get a +1/+1 counter. Winding Constrictor is brutally good in the matchup, to where I'm just going to permanently kill it, not even put it under a Fairgrounds Warden. Because this, they get an extra counter every time. So they'd get an extra energy every time they get energy, and they'd get an extra +1/+1 counter every time they got +1s. 2/2 Flying Lifelink, that's fine. That's not actually that scary. I think I'm going to Fairgrounds Warden that one instead of Demolition it. Okay, we might have ran them out of stuff. Ran them out of creatures here. And I still have a 3rd Demolition. Or a 2nd Demolition. A 4th removal spell, though. Defiant Salvager, that is super fine. Win combat with Rush of Vitality or Alley Evasion. I don't even need to unless they play a trick of their own. Sure. Let's make sure this stays on board. By giving Indestructible. Now we're not casting another Aetherborn, but they're not getting back their Marauder, which is important. Winding Constrictor number 2. That's a very, very nice deck from our opponents. Is sorcery speed right? Activate only as a sorcery. Yes, it is. We'll do that. Hold up Alley Evasion for a small trick. If they have another +3/+3, they can kill a Warden. Okay. Sage of Shiloh's Claim. That's a 2/1. They could sack it, make the Salvager a 3/3, so it can beat Wardens on blocks. That is the play. Hey, Gaunty. How's it going, buddy? Gaunty, you're beautiful. You're beautiful, especially with alley evasion in hand for double Gonti. Oh wow, it's all good. Let's hunt the weak though, right? So we can clear their blocker out of the way and just kill them next turn. As much as I want to alley evasion Gonti, okay, if they didn't scoop, I was going to say as much as I want to alley evasion Gonti, I'm just going to keep Gonti on board so they can hunt the weak and have lethal damage. Because if I put Gonti back to hand and then I hunt the weak, I'm only doing 5. So, all right, we'll still get there. 2-0 to start it off. Really, really nice stuff from the Fairgrounds Wardens that game. That was sick. All right, here we are now in game 3. We've got a potential turn 4 Gonti, but we need to hit a lot of lands. She's a little sketchy, but we're on the draw. We know we're playing a Skyskiff that we can't crew in a Subtle Strike. Gonti is so strong, it makes me want to keep this. If I were on the play, even with Gonti, I think I'd mulligan, but on the draw, I'm going to risk it. Risk it for the biscuit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's another double black card, so now we really need a swamp specifically. I already really needed a swamp though. Alright, here's a Skyskiff on an empty board. Could have some mana issues take us out of this one. Flint Sleeve Artisan. They get a 3/3, or they get a 2/2 and a 1/1. They're going to get the 3/3 here. Oh, thank God. Okay, there's the swamp. We're now 1 mana away from Gonti, and we have access to both our Aetherborns, our Subtle Strike, our Rush of Vitality, everything but Gonti or Pioneer. So now we've got a game. That could go either way here. Could hit my opponent for 2, but I'd rather hold Aetherborn up as a blocker. I don't really want to trade it into Artisan, but it may convince them not to attack with the Artisan. Uh-oh, Scry to the top. That means a good card on top for our opponent. They're on a blue-white deck here, Aether Thurston, Glint Sleeve Artisan out. Okay, well, I mean with Gonti for 2-for-1s later, and we have a second copy of Aetherborn, it might not be that bad to just make sure we survive. Well, 2 tricks to play around with Aetherborn? Nah, let's just take 3. And we're gonna have multiple lifelinkers as well. Aether Inspector. Okay, Aetherborn blocks that beautifully, so that thing's never getting in. And then, let's see what we draw. Daring Demolition. That's a pretty good one. I think I just play another Aetherborn before I start holding up all these tricks. They can kill this one if they double block. But otherwise, we're just going to gain 2. And yeah, if they double block, I kill both their creatures they blocked with, so I think we send in. Now if they have 1 removal spell though, they can kill Aetherborn and they get in with Artisan and Theorist. I can crew Skyskiff in response to a removal spell at least, so I'm still blocking Aether Inspector, I'm just not killing it. They do have enough energy to make 2 servos, which is annoying. Well, Leaving the Dust is not that bad. They do draw a card off of it, but at least we can recast Aetherborn now. It's still going to be around in the future. I might actually rather take the... Oh wait, no, this doesn't come out attacking, never mind. Yeah, no, we just stopped the damage. I was going to say, maybe I take that and kill the servo, but it's not tapped in attacking. Ooh, Gonti, hello. Gonti is never not the correct play. I guess if they had 2 artifacts, maybe we play around Metallic Rebuke. But because they don't, we just play Gonti. It's going to be 6 mana to play Wisp-Weaver Angel, but it would let us flicker Gonti, so do I get greedy here? I kind of think I get greedy here. Because we have all this stuff to play in the meantime to keep alive. Like, we're just going to play Daring Demolition super aggressively and stuff. The only other option is another 6-drop, which I'm not going to do, or the 2-drop Swooper, which is fine, but doesn't actually block that well here, and blocking is the most important thing. Yeah. Get greedy with the Gonti. Oh, nice. They just pass right through combat. I love to see that. No attacks this turn whatsoever. Now we can replay our Gifted Aetherborn, have all these tricks up. They could rebuke this. We only have 2 mana up. Okay, no metallic rebuke. And probably attack with our other Aetherborn. Try to trade a trick into their Artisan. If we can. It would be Subtle Strike would be the best one here. Put a +1/+1 counter on the Aetherborn and -1/-1 their Servo. Alright, they did not have a Metallic Rebuke to counter Aetherborn, so hopefully they don't have anything to counter Subtle Strike also. They could have a trick to make it so the Aetherborn still dies. But I don't think they can have something that makes it so Artisan lives and Aetherborn doesn't. Unless they just... Oh. Another Leave in the Dust. Does this still resolve at least and I kill the 1/1? Yes, because it's 2 separate things. Nice. At least I still kill the 1/1 there. Okay, that's not bad. That's not that bad. Yeah, I should have remembered Leave in the Dust as a card that exists, seeing as they played one earlier. I was like, yeah, that is a good option for them to have there. To beat the Subtle Strike. So I put myself in a mild corner here, a mild situation where usually what's really good about Gonti is you play Gonti, Gonti draws you a card out of your opponent's deck, and Gonti guaranteed trades into just some random nonsense on your opponent's board. So Gonti's just always an immediate 2-for-1. But I put myself in a little bit of a corner here where, because I have Wisp-Weaver Angels, the exiled card, I really don't want to trade Gonti off. So if my opponent were just like getting aggressive, if they get enough stuff to where they can do that, and where we would want to normally trade Gonti, I'm going to end up just not doing that and taking more damage and all that kind of stuff. So that could be a thing. Okay. I should honestly probably, because I don't want Gonti to die anyway, just be crewing Skyskiff and sending that in. I guess I'll start that now. Better late than never. Don't really want to Fairgrounds Warden any of their creatures yet. But yeah, now that I put it that way, now that I put my predicament into words, and I know that I really don't want to trade Gonti off ever, I realize I should just be getting my Skyskiff damage in, probably. And at this point, I'm just going to keep these Aetherborns on blocks, because I don't really love the 1-for-1 trade of Rush of Vitality into Artisan if they block again. It's like fine. It's not anywhere near as good as the Subtle Strike trade would have been, though. So I think I'm just holding Aetherborn back, holding a Rush of Vitality up for blocks, potentially, if we need it. So Aether Theorist is just going to keep scrying all day long, setting up these card draws. That is incredibly good for me. Oh my god, now we get to flicker a Gonti and get rid of the Ice Over too. That is nasty. Did not expect this. I still don't love the trade of Rush of Vitality for Glint-Sleeve Artisan, but I'm not gonna just let it in. Do we trade Rush of Vitality for a counterspell so they're tapped out for Wisp-Weaver Angel if I hit a land? That looks like a no. Looks like a no. They may just not have counterspells in their deck. Fairgrounds Warden. So exile an Aetherborn. Sure. Till we blow that up. I might blow that up with Demolition. Alley Evasion? Oh no, triple Gonti game? Triple Gonti today. What a draw. My god. They're gonna scry one, and if it's a good card, put it on the bottom now. Get it out of there. Don't let me cast it. Oh, they put it on top, okay. Oh, it must be a land then. Land is probably the top card. Yeah, it was probably one of these planes. Ice Over and Nimble Innovator. I don't like Ice Over very much. It just keeps something tapped. It doesn't tap something immediately. I'm just going to take Innovator. Innovator's also, I'm not a huge fan, but I think I like it better than Ice Over. Still holding up the Aetherborn to trade into the Shipwreck Moray and keep the Aether Inspector from making a bunch of servos. I guess Gonti does all that as well, but again, I don't want to put Gonti in harm's way because we've got a Wispweaver Angel to Gonti a third time. Aviary Mechanic. They could pick up Fairgrounds Warden, I guess? And then exile Gonti instead? That would not be ideal. I don't think they do anything with this. Oh, they could pick up Theris. Yeah, get a bunch of energy, actually. That's pretty good. I was going to say, yeah, they definitely shouldn't redo Warden on Gonti, because then I could Gonti 4 times this game by demolishing the Warden. But yeah, I forgot there's a lot of ETB energy producing cards that are nice to blink. Okay, come on in, Moray. Trade with my Aetherborn, I guess. Okay. They need to spend energy one more time. Yep, to get it to enough power. And there's the trade. Dang. Well, Night Market Lookout's really good with the Sky Skiff, but that is not the Wispweaver Angel mana I've been looking for. I think I am going to Demolition the Warden, or I could Warden the Warden, and then we can do all kinds of Warden shenanigans, but that's just funny. It's not actually a good thing to do. It's not ideal. So I'm not going to do that. Okay, things still feel really, really good over here. Land pass? Yeah, we're living the dream. We're living the dream. Double Night Market Lookout. We can crew this Sky Skiff twice for value. That's going to kill our opponent really quickly. That's true. All you need is one Sky Skiff, and you can tap all of your Night Market Lookouts into it. So busted. Drop our Innovator. Well, drop our opponent's Innovator. Oh, oh my god. Oh my god. Please don't scoop, opponent. Not yet. I've cast 2 Gontis so far. Well, I've gotten 2 Gonti enter the battlefield effects so far. I'm gonna get a 3rd when I Wispweaver Angel, then I could get a 4th by casting this next Gonti. Illusionist Stratagem. Flicker and get a ton of energy. That's pretty nice. And draw a card. 5 energy total, I believe. They sure do. And then Glint Nest Crane. Another good enter the battlefield effect card. Pick up a Panharmonicon? Oh my god. I thought I was having fun with Quadruple Gonti, but our opponent's deck is super fun too. The actual Panharmonicon limited deck? That's so cool. I'm into it. Okay. I still don't have that Wispweaver Angel mana. I can't attack through the Glint Nest Crane, so we're just tapping Night Market Lookouts now. Our opponent might scoop if I do this, but I hope not. I'm just going to play another Gonti. Get that ETB. Dawn Feather Eagle's huge. Yeah, that's going to be massive on this board state. Alright, keep draining them out of the game with Night Market Lookout. We've now gotten 3 Gonti ETBs. There's Panharmonicon. Oh, imagine if I had Gonti'd Panharmonicon. It's just a fun game of Magic for me. I don't know how fun it is for my opponent. Their deck is fun. I don't know if they're having fun this game, though. So we are kind of being really rude. Oh my god, here we go. No counterspell, no counterspell. Yes! Gonti ETB number 4! Aw, no blink cards here. We'll just take the big flyer then. I was gonna say, if we see like another illusionist stratagem from them or something, get a Gonti ETB number 5. That would be so sick. Our opponent's got a lot of card draw now. The Shielded Aether Thief can spend 3 energy to draw a card, and they have 7. So they can dig for some outs here. But they need to stop this Night Market Lookout Sky Skiff combo. And even if they do, we have a ton more creatures to start playing to try to just kill them in the sky here. Between Dawnfeather Eagle, Windkin Raiders, and Propeller Pioneer. Alright, opponent is going to scoop them up. Luckily for us, they did not scoop until we got to Gonti 4 times. So that was a pretty sweet one. That was a super fun one. I don't think it's going to get any better than that, but I'm still going to play it out. We got plenty more games to play here. At least 3 more if I lose the next 3 games, but we're 3-0 here with this really sick double Gonti black-white deck. This looks like a pretty sweet hand for game 4 here. We've got a Night Market Lookout with a Sky Skiff to crew. It might die to a Chandra's Pyro Helix here, though. We are against a red deck. We've got a Gonti as our big late game plan. Voltaic Brawler to start things off from our opponent. Very aggro card. It's going to be terrifying. I could try to Rush of Vitality to kill it, but that's only +1 power. So if they buff the Brawler, it attacks as a 4/3, and we can't kill it anyway. I guess I should have attacked and then Rush of Vitality to trade my Rush of Vitality into the Brawler if they blocked. Okay, they're going to pay the 1. That is just going to hit our face then. Yeah, that was loose. I should have attacked into it, holding up Rush of Vitality for if they declared a block there. And worst case scenario, we still just hit them for 2 that turn. Okay, Weaponcraft Enthusiast. There we go. Get a really wide board here. Seems good to me. Yeah, we've got Gonti, Daring Demolition, all kinds of ways to deal with this thing. I can also hold up Rush of Vitality and then Stram's Expertise cast the Weaponcraft Enthusiast for free later. I'm going to hit my opponent for 2 with Lookout, and then I'm going to use my Enthusiast Servos with the Sky Skiff. I'm just going to make the most of all my mana here. I guess I hit for 1 more if I crewed Sky Skiff there, but I like being able to block with it potentially. I guess I could have Enthusiast main phase and hit for more. Yeah, that was not an ideal turn. Here comes Pyro Helix. Kill 1/1 and a Lookout. Here comes Pyro Helix. You got it. Surprised they don't kill Enthusiast here in case I have any Flicker. That's cool with me. Alright, opponent's still stuck on 2 mana. They've got 1 last attack with Brawler before it's too small to attack in well. So we'll take the 4. They may play a land main phase 2. Nope. Alright. Pretty nice for us. Countless Gears Renegade if something dies this turn. Nothing's going to, though, most likely. Let's just hit for 2 in the sky. Maybe they Pyro Helix us again. But they'll wait till the end step to do that. Yeah, just play a 2/2. Played very, very loose this game. Imagine the game where I attacked holding Rush of Vitality up and then I got my 2 more damage in with the Night Market Lookout that earlier turn and the Sky Skiff. Sure, kill the 1 toughest cards. And Pyro Helixes are really good against our deck. Facing double Pyro Helix is pretty rough. But We expected this could happen. Now they get 3 more energy for their brawler. This is absolutely brutal. There's Swamp for Gonti. Just play the Gonti. Self-assembler. I don't have more self-assemblers in my deck, but that's still a 4/4 blocker. And I don't want to play Eager Constructs because I don't want to let them scry in the mana. I'm just going to take a self-assembler. It's a 4/4. I think I'm on the defensive this turn. Until I get my servos, then I'm attacking with Skyskiff again. Ideally, we can draw another 2 or 3 mana like creature to play alongside the expertise. Alright, sure, get ready to block Gonti. They have a first strike combat trick. There is 1 in the set. They're going to Welding Sparks Gonti, so they still trample over for all the damage. That's not ideal. Propeller Pioneer can get me the servo I need to cruise Skiff. I can't expertise and cast another card because I'd just be casting Rush of Vitality, which I kind of need to do as a trick later. I need to kill this brawler thing. I can't keep taking this trample damage at 6 life here. Do we just demolition it? I guess I could get a big life gain swing with Rush of Vitality here. As the plan. Oh, this doesn't feel great. I feel like I have to just demolition this brawler. We'll never know if my opponent would have blocked on that earlier turn and let us Rush of Vitality the Voltaic Brawler. Probably not. But even if they wouldn't, we would have gained another life. Been at 7 here at this point. Okay, Sage is a 3/2. I'll trade the 3/2 for my 2/2. Snap trade that. Trade it for a combat trick too. Built to last or whatever. Built to smash, that's what it's called. Yeah, that's fine. That's A-okay with me. And there's the 5 mana for Self-Assembler. It's 1 blocker though, and I kind of want to make multiple. I like Propeller Pioneer, make a servo. It's bad against a 3rd copy of Pyrohelix, but otherwise I have a 2/1 flyer to block with and a 2/3 Skyskiff to block with. Yeah, I want to have a field of multiple blockers more than anything else right now. Pima Outrider. That is trample. That is trample. I could have a 4/4 to block that 4/4 though. Oh, 3/3. Okay. I could have a 4/4 to block the 3/3. Okay, they're going to pass to my turn. Oh, can I get something to play for free off of Stram's Expertise? That would be great. I guess not. I guess we're just going to play Stram's Expertise so we have a wide board and I can Rush a Vitality. I'm just going to cast nothing for free here. Pioneer's only 1 toughness. The 2/3 and 3 1/1s to block with. 2/3 goes on Outrider. The 1/1s I go double block there, block there. Yeah, I think I need to start getting some damage in so I can maybe close this game out. There's a Self-Assembler. Well, we took 1 of them from you. I hope they only have 2. That would be hilarious. Oh, they know we took their self-assembler. That's incredible. So rude. They're like, what? Wait, what? Oh no. Conti, how could you do this to me? Fairgrounds Warden. That's a good one. Is that better than a self-assembler? Yeah, because I can't hold up Rush of Vitality if I self-assembler. Could cruise skiff and attack with that. But I'm just holding 4 1/1s up. Can't do that. Can't do that yet. Maulfist Revolutionary, another trampler. That gives them another energy token when it enters the battlefield and dies. Oh, no, it makes the Sage bigger. Forgot about that. That is not ideal. Ooh, Pillar Bug is ideal. That's so ideal. Get a lifelinker onto this board. Still can't really afford to attack with 2 things. Add a lifelinker to the equation. Ridge Scale Tusker. I'm dead. That card is absurd. Counter on everybody. Easy bake. Slam the all attack button here. I mean, if I survive this attack, I can attack my opponent for lethal, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, I guess they block this. They would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I can exact lethal if I can survive and not lose a creature here. That's going to be really hard to do, though, isn't it? Because I'd need to have Rush of Vitality at the ready, too. Okay, so let's see. I could gain life off of Pillar Bug and kill this 2/2 without losing a creature. I can block that without losing a creature. I'm essentially at 8 life now, taking 8 plus 5. 8 plus 5. $13. That's way too much damage. I have to block the 5/4 and use a Rush of Vitality. If I block the 5/4 and use Rush of Vitality, I don't have Rush of Vitality anymore. They only have the 1 blocker of Ridge Scale Tusker, which again, if I counted up all the math, and I crewed Sky Skiff with a Fairgrounds Warden, they would block the Pillar Bug, and they would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They would be at 1 life. I guess I have to just kill everything I can kill here instead. Lose a couple creatures. I lose a lot of creatures here, though. Just try to top deck a combat trick instead, or top deck removal as the out. I think I'm trying to top deck removal as an out. Wait, with Rush of Vitality, I can guarantee there's 5 damage in the sky? If I still have Rush of Vitality, which I can do by doing that? No, I'll be at exactly 8 and still die to those 2. No, I have to Rush of Vitality here. Okay. Yeah, so we block like that. We get lifelink there. Rush of Vitality there. They have 1 blocker. Need to draw an out, though. Oh my god! Daring Demolition! Crew the skiff. Attack with everybody, and that is game. If I got my extra 2 damage earlier, I would not have needed to top deck to have lethal that turn. So I almost punted that game away. with my very loose lines earlier in the game, making the damage just not quite line up well for me, but Arena just gives it all to us there, giving us that daring demolition top deck. This has been a really lucky draft run. Again, I made some mistakes earlier in that game with my sequencing that very, very well could have and maybe should have cost us the game, but a really lucky one for us here. We're going to start out 4-0 heading into round 5. Okay, here we are now in round 5. 4-0 so far, and a really nice opening hand. Need another black source for Aetherborn to come out on turn 2, but we still have a turn 1 lookout and some tricks to play around with it. This is probably getting shot by a Pyrohelix, another red matchup here, red-black. They're just going to implement of Malice here to make us discard a card later. Unfortunately, no second black source for us, but the lookout gets to start doing its work. Worst case scenario, I can Stram's Expertise turn 4 to cast Aetherborn for free if I just hit a third plains before I hit my second swamp. I will discard the 7-drop, I think. It's just too much mana to get to reliably this game. Alright, well, we could cast one of these 2 Aetherborns if I hit one more land. I have 2 combat tricks to save Night Market Lookout, which we're going to have to use these to save it because it's the only action I have that's guaranteed, because I might just not hit any land next turn. Such as that. Alright. Yeah, still saving all these tricks to keep Night Market Lookout on board. It's put in a lot of work here, even if it dies now. 14 to 23, that was all just one Night Market Lookout. That is just how much this card overperforms. Drop Sky Skiff with black-white so I can hold up Alley Evasion. Still. Alright, we'll save the Night Market Lookout. It's all we've got until we hit a 4th land. Self-assembler, big problem, but now we have the Sky Skiff Night Market Lookout combo, so this thing stays relevant throughout the game, and another Night Market Lookout? That's gonna be the play, I think. We're draining our opponent a lot. Oh shoot. I was gonna say, if they draw into a Chandra's Pyrohelix, though, that's gonna play really poorly for us, so maybe we're supposed to hold up Rush of Vitality. I don't think I was gonna do that, but I clicked next too many times, so now I guess I am holding up Rush of Vitality. Not going to matter, because they're just gonna hit us for 8. We did not need the Rush of Vitality. There we go, there's double black for Aetherborns. More importantly, the mana for Expertise, so I can now Expertise, drop an Aetherborn for free, cruise Skyskiff with a 1/1 and attack with Night Market Lookout for 4 damage to my opponent this turn. I really should have played the other Night Market Lookout last turn. Another very loose play by me. I just clicked too many times. Sped into my opponent's turn there. And it could cost us here, but it might have worked out well for us because that second Night Market would have died right there. That doesn't seem ideal. I'm just going to take all of this so I can try to get this Gifted Aetherborn to hit my opponent's face. I'm going to try to find lethal here. They're only doing 8. They have to more than double the amount of damage they're currently doing to kill us. Maybe they're going to shoot Aetherborn with removal if we're not going to block. Maybe that's what they're thinking about. No blocker, no blocker, no blocker. That's a blocker. Wow, they should have played that pre-combat, but it's still going to get us. Oh, wait, no. Oh, that only works if one of their cards died. Okay, Revolt is not as good as I thought it was. Gonti is the draw. Okay. I'm scared, and I don't know what to do. I could play Night Market Lookout and Rush of Vitality. Night Market Lookout makes sure I still hit in the sky, and then Rush of Vitality makes sure I'm very, very alive on blocks. Unless they -X Aetherborn. If I had one more black source, it would pretty easily just be Lookout Aetherborn here. I don't think it's Gonti. I think that's a little too bold. Like having the interaction. I really like that the Lookout is damaging my opponent a lot and gaining me life. So I'm going to go for that. And they're dead next turn to this, I'm pretty sure. It's 3 damage immediately, and Rush of Vitality adds 1 more damage to that. So if they don't present lethal some way, we can just hold on to Rush of Vitality and lethal them with Night Market Lookout Sky Skiff next turn. Unless they can blow up an artifact here, that would be very bad for me. Okay, so currently I take 7 and gain 2, so I'm going to be at 5 life. Not presenting lethal. Lifelink. They gain 5 here? Probably supposed to keep my Aetherborn on board and gain 1 more life then. And then play Gonti next turn. Yeah, that's huge. It's a lot of life gain for them. And they play the Self-Assembler. I might have to Sky Skiff on blocks now. Pioneer is multiple blockers. Pioneer's very interesting. I feel like I'm on Gonti, and then we block both of the assemblers with our 2/3 Death Touchers. Crew with Night Market Lookout to trade Sky Skiff into Vengeful Rebel, and we just take 4. Yeah, I think I'm on Gonti. Oh wow, these would all kill me immediately. This is a scary deck from our opponent. They have a lot of draws like Invigorated Rampage and Hijack that could just kill me out of nowhere. These can all kill my opponent out of nowhere as well. I think I like the +4/+0. Because we gain a ton of life by doing that with Aetherborn. Hijack's a really big one though, if they attack us pretty firmly. That could find lethal. I don't know, I really like the idea of getting 4 more life for 2 mana off of this next Aetherborn block. And this can also potentially find lethal out of nowhere, just not as easily as Hijack could. Very scared of my opponent's deck makeup here, seeing that kind of stuff in their deck, meaning those are all potential draws, that kind of card. Probably attack with everybody here. We'll find out soon enough. They're in the think tank, which makes me feel like they probably don't have immediate lethal this turn, or they could just be dotting their I's and crossing their T's. Just thinking it through, making sure this is a good attack, making sure it's a lethal attack. All right, we might be dead here. Well, let's find out. We're down to 3, but we gain 2. We're up to 5. Ravenous Intruder from my opponents. Fairgrounds Warden. I can play Gifted Aetherborn and I can Invigorated Rampage. Night Market Lookout is better at attacking than it is at blocking for us. I think I'm going to send it in, even if I have to Rampage. Because at least we gain a life doing that. Okay. They're down to 4, and now we have the Aetherborn to trade with the Giants, and even if they top deck removal, Aetherborn blocks Giant. Or, Aetherborn doesn't block Giant if they top deck removal, but we survive because we just go to 2 if they top deck removal. If they don't, we slam trade. Snap trade. And then we win the game with these cards. Eager Construct. Ooh, I get to scry before I draw here. Gonti number 2. Come on. Not Gonti number 2. Get out of here. Arcata Pillarbug. I killed them in 2 turns with a 2/1 flyer, so I think I just play a 2/1 flyer and have a servo to chump block as a backup plan. or I guess 2 attacks with a Propeller Pioneer. It's going to take 3 turns because it is summoning sick. Go down to 5. Daring Demolition is the draw. I've got a Fairgrounds run. I've also got a Pillar Bug for a lifelinking blocker potentially. I'm going to try to do the lifelinking blocker play. I don't know if that's the safest play. Alright, and they are not going to draw an out to the flyer. That is going to kill them here, and we are going to be 5-0 now, heading into round 6. Our not playing the Night Market Lookout earlier actually somehow ended up being really good for us because it didn't die to the second make obsolete. Scary game there. This is a bit of an awkward hand. It's really good with any of our double black cards like Aetherborns and Gaunties. We know we have a Weaponcraft Enthusiast and a Subtle Strike, and we're on the draw here. I'm going to keep this, because black is our more important color, and we only really need to hit 1 white source. We've got solid play on turn 3, but it is a little slow. And there's a white source, and now this would have been a definite keep. So our opponent's on green-white, and they're going to start with a Druid of the Cowl, which can get them some extra mana. Ramp them up pretty quickly. For now, it's just going to hit us for 1. We draw into a Night Market Lookout. That would have been super good earlier. Just fine now. I think I'm just playing a 2-3 Weaponcraft Enthusiast, awkwardly enough. This is where, yeah, I probably took this card a bit highly. It's not great. It's been a very fine. Honestly, I think the Pillar Bug has somehow been better for us than the Enthusiast. The Pillar Bug's been a big deal. Just that lifelink. Oh, speak of the Pillar Bug, and it shall arrive. I can try to Subtle Strike or Alley Evasion to beat this Druid. I can actually do both. Might as well attack here. See if I can get Alley Evasion to work. Save Subtle Strike for a bigger combat later. Cool. And then we can play the Pillar Bug. Or save the Subtle Strike until they get a Servo token or a Thopter token for us to kill. Aeronauts, 4/3 flyer. I am going to... 3 power. Yeah, I win with a Subtle Strike here. I win the combat. So we'll offer Subtle Strike as the trade. Okay, they're not going to do that, so we'll play Fairgrounds Ward and Night Market Lookout, which costs 4 of our 5 mana, which means I do have the mana for lifelink. Okay, Night Market Lookout and Fairgrounds Warden to exile the Aeronauts. See what else our opponent has. They've got 5 cards in hand. They've got to have options here unless they're very flooded out. Appetite for the Unnatural to kill our Pillar Bug and gain 2 life. Not ideal for us, but it's fine. We've still got a bunch on the board against nothing on board. Still in the lead on board. Very far behind in terms of cards in hand, but that's fine. Looks like it's just a bunch of slow removal, so we'll just keep shredding in for now, and there's a Gaunty. I'm going to do that pre-combat in case I hit some kind of aura or equipment or something. Oh, a bunch of self-assemblers in their deck. I think it's always pretty powerful to stop my opponent from hitting one of their self-assemblers, even if I'm just going to be playing a 5-mana 4/4 over here. Reducing the amount of self-assemblers makes that card dramatically weaker. I mean, if they have 2 at least left in their deck, it's still a very good card. But if there's only 1... I'm just living the dream with this deck. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't be able to draw this well. Let's shuffle my deck. If you are just listening, we top-decked another Gaunty, so we've got a backup Gaunty. And our opponent's just going to scoop them up, and we're going to be 6-0 heading into the final boss, round 1 of the final boss. We've got multiple bullets in the chamber. Lots of ammunition for attempting to get a 7-win run for this Kaladesh Remastered Premier Draft. Alright, here we are in what could be the final boss. Opponents on the play. We've got an excellent hand. Night Market Lookout on 1, Gaunty on 4. We've got the double black already. Definitely going to keep this one. We'll see how things go and what could be the final boss. If we win this, we're 7-0 and we're done with the draft. If we lose, still got some more shots. Let's see. I think opponent took a mulligan on the play here. So they're still deciding what they want to put back into their library or if they want to mulligan again. Got a really nice curve Night Market Lookout with 2 different tricks to save it from spells. And then Gonti on 4. As I said before, we've got a great plan for what we're doing every turn. It's just Night Market Lookout and attacking. Very simple plan, but a great one nonetheless. We've seen how good that card is in this draft. I hope, if anything, this draft I've turned a lot of people on to the Night Market Lookout, showing how good it is with vehicles. Has been so good with the Sky Skiff. Like, we're a 1-vehicle deck, and the Night Market Lookout has still been kind of an MVP. Kind of a great card for us. Gonti, of course, the #1 MVP, but everyone knows Gonti is nuts. It's a rare, it's a bomb rare. That's that one's going to be much more clear, but Night Market Lookout, a little innocuous common that tends to go really late in the packs right now. So, yeah, very good one to pick up. If you see it going late, that doesn't mean it's bad. Sometimes people just have not played with the card much or haven't looked too hard at it and just see a 1-mana 1/1, and usually 1-mana 1/1s are super unplayable, but this one actually kind of solid and looks like a really good start for us here. Our opponent is going to be on the mulligan to 5 on the play, and we just drew our second Gonti already. So things look pretty good for us. Our opponent did start with a bomb rare of their own, Ovia Pashiri. She's a little slow. But that doesn't matter in regular limited. In cube, she's unplayable, in my opinion, because of how slow she is. But in regular limited, you are going to run out of cards, and making XXs, where X is number of creature control, is actually pretty high impact. It's pretty big. Unfortunately for us, we cannot send into this Winding Constrictor, even with our tricks. So we're just going to hold off and hope they attack with Ovia, and we can kill her with a combat trick. They're just going to send in Constrictor, though. Play it safe. Smart play. We'll take the 2. They're going to pass turn here. We've got 4 mana. We know we can Gonti on turn 4. Now I can double trick to kill Constrictor. I think I'd rather just gain a life, get a damage in, and then play the Pillar Bug here. Obviously, if they block, I will kill Ovia Pashiri, but if they don't, then I'll Constrict. Oh, yeah, that's instant speed. Rude as hell. Rude as hell. Yeah, we're not going to play a Pillar Bug this turn then. I'm going to rush a Vitality because Alley Evasion is so good on these Gontis. We could triple Gonti. That was a big punt. I forgot Ovia's instant speed. We should not have done that at all. Should have just played the Pillar Bug and passed the turn. Okay. They are green-black. They're not going to have counterspells. They might have removal for Gonti, but that would be good for us because then we can cast the second Gonti without worrying. Now I can Alley Evasion to pick up a Gonti and play a Countless Gears Renegade with Revolt in the same turn, which is extra good value. Ooh. Actually, Herald of Anguish is absolutely disgusting. So I say Hazard Conditions can kill Ovia, but... and the tokens that she makes, but can't kill the Constrictor, and it won't kill the big XX tokens later. And this seems like an absolute mega bomb, this thing. Each opponent discards a card in your end step. It's a 5/5 flyer. You can improvise to play it cheaper. You can sack artifacts, get -2/-2. This thing's insane. This thing's absolutely insane. Okay, well now I can Alley Evasion and recast Gonti in the same turn. But I think I'll do that with the second Gonti. I think I'll actually trade this one for whatever. If they want to block. If they don't want to block, we'll just deal 2 damage and then play a Pillar Bug. Play a Pillar Bug, holding up the ability to give it lifelink and pick up a card. Okay, so we'll take the trade so we can play another Gonti. And my opponent is going to have an unfun time here. Get around that legendary. Alright, they're going to make a 1/1. We're going to Gonti them again. Get a Daring Demolition this time. Their deck is good, but they got some pretty poor luck on the draw here. Having to mulligan twice, and then we got to draw both Gontis, which is absurd. And I can do a third Gonti trigger to be extra rude later if we need it. Right now we don't. We got plenty of stuff to play, so I'm not going to do that right now. Demolition Ovaya Pashiri here. Hold up the evasion. Pass. Just trying to make it to 7 mana now for Herald of Anguish. Oh my god, their deck is good. They have a Nissa as well. We might actually lose if they get a Nissa down here.
Through these lands.
Oh my god. They have Herald of Anguish, Nissa, Ovia Pashiri, Daring Demolitions all over the place. Good gravy. And they just pick up Ovia Pashiri. Yeah.
Nature
So that's a big thing. Daring Demolition. Destroy one of their creatures, then I can attack Nissa with both. And Ally Evasion to make sure she's dead. Is this Blossoming Defense here? For 1 mana? What the hell is going on? Jesus Christ. Literally everything. Okay. I guess we die to Nissa? Unless we make it to 7 mana? Because now they just can make infinite blockers to protect her. And she's going to be at 3 loyalty, so we don't kill her off of hitting for 2.
Rise, my elemental friend.
She gets to make a 5/5 land every turn and block with that. Jesus Christ. Play another Death Toucher, one that's more expendable. And then play a Pillar Bug. Just get our own blockers. Keep returning permanents from grave to hand, like Winding Constrictor coming up. Does that double counters on planeswalkers too? No, just artifacts and creatures. It'll add an additional counter too.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Alright, 1 mana from Herald of Anguish. We've still got a shot with Herald of Anguish coming down. Actually, we could cast it by tapping the Pillar Bug. We hope they don't have removal. I actually think I'd rather wait till I have Ally Evasion. No, it's owner's hand. No, that would just put the Herald back into their hand anyway, so I guess we cast it here. Yeah, Ally Evasion would not be good to try to play around removal. Because we would just put their Herald in their hand. Alright, make them discard their 1 card in hand. And then we can attack Nissa in the sky for 5. It was a Night Market Aeronaut. Okay, Ovia Pashiri's certainly popping off. We're going to have good attacks on the ground, but we can kill Nissa, so they are going to -3 Nissa here, since they know she's dead regardless. Could sack the Pillar Bug to kill their Pashiri with Herald of Anguish's second effect, so we're probably going to do that. I'm feeling confident again now that the Herald of Anguish has landed, and we know they didn't have a removal spell in hand, but they could top deck one.
Nature always finds a way.
And they're going to dig for it with Unbridled Growth to draw another card. Sage of Shiloh's Claim, that is not a removal spell. They're going to get their Construct while they know they still can. Pass the turn. We've got a Subtle Strike up, so kill Nissa with the Herald, kill Ovia with Herald's other effect. We're gonna do that while they're tapped out.
I can help you no longer.
Now I can Countless Gears Renegade and get a 1/1 because I revolted. And we still have Subtle Strike and Alley Evasion up for tricks here. 2 Death Touchers for the 2 creatures that are big enough to matter. I think we've still got things on lock. We got tremendously lucky this game because our opponent got pretty lucky. Like, they had Ovia Pashira and a Nissa later game. But, I mean, we got double Gonti. We have a way to triple it. We got their Herald of Anguish off of our second Gonti. This has been a really, really swingy game where I was like, how could I possibly lose? And then the Nissa came down and I was like, wait, how can I possibly win? And the Herald of Anguish came down and I'm like, how can I possibly lose? Pretty simple blocks here. Kill all that stuff. Maybe they're going for a Wrath effect or something. They just wanted to get damage in. I doubt it, because then maybe it's a Revolt thing. They're going to hunt the weak. Subtle Strike can beat that, right? That'll be a 6/6. Yeah, Subtle Strike wins the fight. And then there's just like no shot for our opponent now. Let the Night Market trade out into the servo just to get more aggressive. And they're just going to scoop them up here. That's going to be a 7-0 run in Kaladesh Remastered, which is going to bring us up to number 33 Mythic. Tiny bit over a week left in this season, which means if I sit on this rank, I will probably maintain top 250 Mythic. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to hop onto an alt account to play more Kaladesh Remastered drafts, or else I risk, if I get an 03 draft somewhere in there, dropping out a top 250 Mythic. So I think you're going to see me on an alt account in the upcoming drafts these next couple days, or I could just do nothing but Arena Cube. But Kaladesh Remastered, a pretty cool format. Amonkhet Remastered as well. I would like to hop back into these formats for a couple drafts, so probably going to hop on an alt account here for some more of these drafts. But what a draft there. Getting double Gonti was absurd. Double Fairgrounds Warden was quite sweet as well. Definitely some over and underperformers. Night Market Lookout was incredible. That performed probably even slightly better than I thought it would. I already thought it was going to be pretty good, but that was phenomenal. Gonti was incredible, obviously. One of the big underperformers, actually, the Weaponcraft Enthusiast. I already talked some poop on this card before I took it, but I don't think I talked enough poop on it. I probably shouldn't have taken it. It was not the greatest thing ever. Pillar Bug actually probably overperformed more than Enthusiast did. Everything else was pretty fine. About how I thought it would be. Yeah. Super fun deck there. Super sweet draft. Awesome 7-0. Probably... Yeah, I'm going to play more drafts of this format and Amonkhet Remastered in the coming days on this channel. If you're interested in that, stick around. You can like, comment, and subscribe to let the YouTube algorithm know to send you some more of these videos in your recommended feeds. I will also be diving headfirst into Dominar United when that hits in September. It'll be like September 1st. Like right when the month changes. So that'll be a big format to get into. I will probably try to do another how to draft video of the format, talking about all the mechanics and archetypes, so you know all of that before you get drafting the format. So a lot of great stuff on the horizon I'm very excited for. But until then, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.